Hey everyone, Joseph Ricavina here from Child Evangelism Fellowship. Just to send you a quick video, I wanted to just first say thank you. Thank you for all of the time and energy you've put into the Good News Clubs this past year and in the past. I know the kids have been blessed and that many have been pointing to Christ because of your efforts. It's so wonderful to be part of a ministry where we get to see so many of the body of Christ stepping up and saying, I am going to be there. I'm going to step out and point these kids to Christ. And we know that this year might not have ended the way that you had planned. It might not have been able to come to the close that you had hoped. But we know that God used it and God used you. And we're so grateful for your energies. And we're praying for you, hoping that you're staying safe. We're all on this interesting journey together through this time. And we're praying for you and hope that you are being able to use this to point to Christ. You know, this time is really an interesting time, and really, I think it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for us as Christians to shine the love of Christ. I was just reading an article from the Star Tribune where they found that most young people now are saying that the church has no relevance for them, because even during this time, the COVID-19 time, the church isn't reaching out to them or caring about them. And I was really sad reading this because it just kind of shows a little bit what this next generation is thinking of Jesus. But it also really challenged me. God has given us this unique time with COVID-19. He has put us in this place where we're right now having to grapple with big questions. These kids are having to grapple with so many big things. I've talked to some that are stuck at home in hard situations. I've heard of others who have literally been in their room for a month and having to grapple with fear. There's so much fear running around, they don't even want to walk outside. They're having to go through this, and these kids are lost and they're lonely. The article even talked about how so many of them feel alone and isolated. And it is our responsibility as the church to reach out and love them. And I believe God has given us this time, this COVID-19, to be able to shine His love into their lives. I believe here in the next month, we're going to see the culture open up. We're going to see things open up, kind of start going back to where there was. And I think that moment, we have an amazing opportunity to step in and love these kids. Our desire at CEF is that when it opens, when the laws finally allow us to be able to go out and meet in groups, we are going to start by having all these backyard Bible clubs. We want to go to the kids and have these backyard Bible clubs in every neighborhood in the cities. We want to go to them and we want to reach them as they're coming out of this, as they're having to process this fear and everything they just went to. We want to meet them with the love of Christ and the gospel. It reminds me of a story that I had heard from the city of Becker this year, where there was a boy who had gone out into the cornfields one day after coming home from school and got lost with his dog. And the whole city, the whole town got together and they said, we're going to look for them. There were hundreds of people walking through cornfields. Churches got together and prayed that they would find this little boy. And late that night, they finally found him. And I've just heard stories and stories of the urgency of this town to find this little boy. And it's made me think, if they were so urgent to find this little boy who was lost just for a night, shouldn't that be the urgency that we as the church have to reach those that are lost without the gospel? We have so many kids right now that are alone, that are desperate for this love that Jesus can offer them. But we as Christians need to step up, and we need to go and share the love of Christ. So what I want to ask you, as those of you who I already know poured in so much, will you help us with this? Will it either be maybe host a club yourself or get the word out and tell others that might be interested in hosting? Or even will you join us in prayer? There's a link attached to this where we're looking for people to join our prayer team and even commit to praying 2 minutes every day for the kids in our community. 2 minutes every day that God would move and we'd see a huge revival this summer. I'm praying that God's going to do something big, and I know He's at work here. Will you join arms with us and pray with us that God will use this COVID-19 to glorify His name? Thank you. We so appreciate each of you and are praying for you.